Matikela, welcome to my YouTube channel. So I want us to talk about something that happened on the 3rd of March 2026. Ne? So South Africans, a serious question emerging in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, okay, is emerging there, okay? But let's, according to testimony from Shedrack Sibiya, when he was he at ADOP? Yes, we're starting there before we go to the 3rd of March and the Senzo Meyiwa trial, okay? He said that when he was there, he did not go to Vosloorus crime scene by coincidence. He did not go to that crime scene by coincidence on the night Senzo Meyiwa was killed. He testified that someone called him to go there. That is why he was there. So now on the 3rd of before we go to that, General Sibiya tells us that when he got there, Kwakunuki Pine Jail, so there was cleaning that had happened. That's what he told us. He told us that Kwakunuki Pine Jail, there was a smell of pine gel, it was clean, the house was cleaned. That amounts to, it amounts to what? To crime scene contamination. That is rule 101, okay? Now, on the 3rd of March 2026, now Utibelo Musikili, guys, me, I used to think General Musikili is a man. Whenever Kininda mentioned him, I guess it's my ignorance. I used to think in my head, this is a man that he was talking about. I was so shocked when I saw a woman. I was so shocked when I saw a woman. I'm telling you. So he, General Musikili, who was the head of detectives in Gauteng at the time, called Sibiya, General Sibiya. That's what we heard on the 3rd from Musikili herself, invited him to the crime scene. But here's the question many people are now asking. By the time senior commanders arrive at a murder scene, the area should already be secured and controlled by investigators, right? So why invite another general to the crime scene that night? Make it make sense. Why invite another general? Musikili's name has been mentioned multiple times during the trial, including by lead investigator Bongani Kininda. Yet, she has never testified in the court. Ubaloyi has never invited her. There is no statement that they say, sorry guys, let me drink water. I'm so thirsty and I feel tired. I'm sorry. Ubaloyi, we have never heard him talk about, even Ukininda. This is the statement of General Musikili. I don't remember hearing such. Never. I don't. Weird, ne? And now she comes and tells us, as South Africans, we ad hoc committee, that actually I was there that night. I went to the hospital to manage the crowd, and then I went back to the crime scene. Now you see how many people were sitting there for that meeting. There was Undlovu, there was Usu General Sibiya, there was Umusikili, there was that MEC of Community Safety, Tonton. Yaiva, these names keep piling up now. Now, what is becoming interesting is that after more than 10 years, South Africans still want answers about what really happened in the early hours of these investigations. If Parliament were to step in, they would call her to answer under oath. Ne? Sorry, she was there to answer for the corruption of cops and stuff, right? And she agreed that there are high-profile police officers who are corrupt. She agreed. So let's ask this directly now. Do you think that Utibelo Musikili was she meant to testify about what happened the night Senzo Meyiwa was murdered? I think yes. I think we are supposed to be getting answers from her. We were supposed to get them through the state if they were interested in justice. I think so. Because there's a lot of things that are happening here. There's too much happening here that does not make sense. Do you understand? There's a lot that is not making sense, and now it's leaving us with so many questions than answers. I don't know if I'm making sense. It's leaving us with so many questions than answers, and it's not nice. It's not cute. Absolutely not cute. So now something very unusual has quietly emerged in this situation of Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, right? And it involves Utibelo Lona, who is a senior police general who has never taken the stand in the Senzo Meyiwa case, which is Utibelo Mosigili. At the time of Senzo Meyiwa's murder in October 2014, Mosigili was the head of detectives in Gauteng, one of the most powerful investigative positions inside South African police services, which means she should have been responsible for overseeing the most serious criminal investigation in the province at that time, including investigations, including this one of Senzo Meyiwa's matter. But during the trial, something startling emerged. According to testimony, these generals were there. Mongene, no, it's not according to testimony. According to what we know as South Africans, Ndlovu was there. No, actually, it was testimony of those police. Ndlovu was there. And now Shadrach was there. Sibia was there. And now we're hearing Musigili was there. We also know that Safety what was there. Do you understand? So there was a lot of people in that crime scene. Ne? But investigators know something very important about the first hours of the murder since Meyiwa died. That investigations, these people know something very important about it. By the time senior commanders begin to arriving, they were police officers, yes. But when they handed over, they told them things. Do you know what's so interesting is that Umusikili was there that night. They never found anything there. There was nothing to find. Yet, uhome girl, umkaya, Kosa girl, Ulona, what's her name? She found a bullet the following day. Gabo 9 Iksasa, Mara, there were police officers until the AMs. About 2 a.m. Abo Musikili were there. They never found anything. Ha, no, I was. Umhlahlo yena wayesithatha lento athi wayifumana. No, Mhlahlo, you are becoming very suspicious right now. Because there were so many police officials that were there in that crime scene. Let alone we sink cupboards. Glass jars, they are not broken, but there was a firearm that a bullet that went that side. Every time people start talking, we end up hearing your thingy is not making sense. It further breaks down. Every moment inside a crime scene is very important. It matters. Every person who enters can potentially affect the integrity of the investigation. So the question naturally arises. Why would the provincial head of detectives call another senior officer to the scene that night? Was it standard procedure? Because if I remember quite well, I could be wrong. Ngati, Usibia, when he arrived, he called Makubo to come through to come and assess also. Or was it something else unfolding behind the scenes? What was going on there? And this is where the story becomes even more complicated, because throughout the trial, Musikili's name has continued to surface not once, not twice, but repeatedly from Gininda's mouth, most notably during the testimony of him, Bongani Gininda, the lead investigator who later took over the case. Gininda has mentioned Musikili several times while explaining how the investigation evolved. Her name keeps popping up, which raises an obvious question. If Musekili's role was central to the early stages of the investigation, why has she never testified in court? Baloyi? Why Usibia, General Sibia, not General Musikili have never testified? If Musikili's role is so central in the early stages, make it make sense, including General Sibia. Because the first few hours after the murder are often the most important. This is where investigators collect physical evidence, secure the scene, identify witnesses, and determine the first investigative direction. Those early decisions can shape an entire case, sometimes for years. And the Senzo Meyiwa case has been surrounded by controversy almost from the beginning. Gandhi, these are the people that were there, and Ubaloyi did not call them. Over the years, South Africans have witnessed a case that seems to grow more complex the deeper you look at it. There have been multiple investigation teams, witnesses who later died, confessions that are heavily disputed, and competing theories about what actually happened inside the Foslorus house that night. More than a decade later, the truth about what happened in that house is still fearlessly debatable. And it's fiercely debatable because we don't believe what is happening as the country. We don't. We question these things because we are like, no, man, can't make sense. Which brings us to this moment. The moment Sheldrick Sibia says he received a call, what exactly was discussed during that phone call? Why was he invited to the crime scene? And who was really coordinating the investigation that night? Because these are not minor details, guys. They go to the foundation of the investigation itself. If critical decisions were made in those early hours, then those decisions may have shaped everything that followed. And that is why some observers are now asking whether this issue now may be whether is an issue that eventually needs to reach a stage, as I asked, where Parliament, they please make an inquiry for us. Because what? Because what is this, son? If lawmakers decide the questions are serious enough, they could ask Lieutenant General Thibelo Musikili to appear in this one that I'm hoping is going to happen, a commission, and answer some very direct questions. Why did she call, or why did she invite General Sheldrick Sibia to the crime scene? What role did she personally play in the early investigation? And were any key decisions made that night or later that shaped the direction of the case? Because one thing is absolutely clear. More than 10 years after the murder of Senzo Meyiwa, South Africa is still searching for answers. And sometimes the biggest mysteries are hidden in the very first hours of an investigation. The hours when the evidence is still fresh, the witnesses are still present, and the truth is still within reach. Then the question now is simple. Will Lieutenant General Thibelo Musikili eventually be asked to explain what happened that night? Or will one of the most important questions in the Senzo Meyiwa case remain unanswered, what's going to happen? We are curious. Are they going to let it go just like that? I want to hear from you. Let's talk in the comment section. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.